So today you're going to do the types of graphs activity. We identified the 5 types of questions last class. So each question has a graph that you will fill in on the lab sheet. This is page 1 of the lab sheet. It has table 1 and table 2, which both have data that you might use in your graphs. This is the graph for lab 1, which is a proportion question, so you'll be filling in a pie chart. On the second page, you have lab 2, which is a change over time question, so you'll be creating a line graph here. Those are the 2 labs I'd like you to get done today. Labs 3, 4, and 5 we'll do next class. In the direction sheet, which has this page as the title, you'll see that lab 1 is all about proportions. On the left-hand side of the page is just some examples of proportion questions. On the right-hand side of the page in the box is the procedure that you're going to follow. So please sit down in your group and read the directions out loud as you complete each lab. So you'll complete the proportions lab today, which is lab 1. And then you will complete the change over time lab today. Again, here is the directions. There's some information here to remind you what a change over time question looks like, and that you will be making a line graph because that's the correct type of graph to answer a change over time question. So you will connect the dots once you have your dots plotted on your graph. And then this is the procedure that you're going to follow. The procedure asks you to create a T-chart in your notebook and write down the year in the left-hand column and the percent amount of copper in the right-hand column, and you should do that. If you don't do that, you'll have to flip back and forth to table 1, and that will mess you up. So you should do that T-chart before you start graphing. Back to the lab paper. When you do lab 1, you are creating a pie chart, and just so you know, each box here is one of the metals that pennies are made of, and you'll need to create a color code key in the boxes. And each slice of the pie is worth 5%. So and you are also graphing the composition of the penny from just these 3 years. So you'll want to label one chart as one of the pie charts as 2000, one of them will be 1970, and the other one will be 1860. So make sure you label the years for each pie chart. And then you will use your different colors to fill in the percentages in the pie charts. The easiest way to do it is to fill in the pie that is the smallest percentage first, and then you can fill in the rest. When you get to lab 2, you are going to be plotting your points, and then you are going to connect your dots to create a line that goes up and down on your change over time graph. You do need to include 1943 in the graph. So that means you will have to kind of estimate where 1943 is. But don't forget to do that. It's an important step. So by the end of today, you should have the graph for lab 1 done and the graph for lab 2 done. If you have any questions or run into any trouble, please send me an email. If you don't get those 2 labs done, please send me an email to request to be tagged so you can finish. The goal is to get this whole lab finished this week. It'll be your last grade for the quarter. Good luck.